So the Mario movie was amazing. I've seen it twice now, once in a proper movie theater and once at the drive-in. I may even see it a third time. Yes, it is that good. But this does leave a very big question. What could come next? I'm sure they'll make another Mario sequel, sure. But what about Nintendo's other franchises? Which ones do I think would be fit for the big screen? Well, my name is Night Yoshi, and today I'm going to be discussing my top 5 picks for Nintendo movies I want to see made. Oh, and just a few quick disclaimers. I won't be including Legend of Zelda on this list, just because that's already on top of everyone's list and is expected to come next. So why bother saying, I hope they make a Zelda movie, when everyone else is already saying the same thing as already likely to happen. Same thing with Metroid. Everybody already says they want a Metroid movie, so it's a simple case of why continue the train here. I will also not be including Pokemon, just because we already got Detective Pikachu, which I will admit I haven't seen yet. Note to self, make time in my busy life to watch Detective Pikachu sometime. With that being said, let's get into this list and start off with number 5, F-Zero. Now I know what some of you may be thinking, F-Zero, that franchise hasn't been touched in years. And you're right. And that is a crime against humanity if you ask me. As a newcomer to the series, I've only played a tiny bit of the SNES original and a good amount of F-Zero X on Nintendo Switch Online. All I can say is, it's a lot of fun. And I do think it could translate to film fairly well if handled correctly. F-Zero's already got an amazing cast of characters. Just imagine the connections we could get to some of the characters, and how happy we'd be to see them do well in the races, or how hurt we could be if they got seriously hurt in an accident in one of them. For example, let's talk about Mighty Gazelle. In the games, he is a cyborg, but he wasn't always a cyborg. He was in a horrible accident and had to be reborn as a cyborg. Just imagine him being in the first film, and being a normal human guy and we grow to love him, and then all of a sudden he has that horrible accident and then we're all sad and whatnot. But then in the sequel we see him come back as Mighty Gazelle and like, yay, he's back! That's just one idea anyways. Well, a story about the rich becoming bored and making something dangerous like F-Zero races may not be the most original idea, it could still work out well getting the right material in my opinion. Since we're on the topic of F-Zero though, if you haven't ever listened to the F-Zero GX soundtrack, do yourself a favor and listen to it right away. Quick pause in the video and look it up. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. It is amazing. Number 4, Animal Crossing. This one is definitely going to be a little harder to explain why I think it could work, but I'll give it a shot. Imagine this. A human villager is looking to move to a new town to start his or her new life. Once they get there, however, they find that the town has fallen apart and many of the current villagers are looking to move out, much to the dismay of the mainstays, like Tom Nook and Isabelle for example. So the villager, being the nice person they are, decides to take on the responsibility of fixing up the town themselves. So that way the villagers already living there can be happy and they themselves can live there happily. In the end, the old mayor is so impressed with the villager's work that he decides to retire from his position and pass the torch down to the villager, with Isabelle volunteering to become their secretary. Sounds like a combination of Animal Crossing New Leaf on 3DS and one of the Harvest Moon games, I know. I can't remember which one off the top of my head though, but I do think it could work out to make a fun film for any fan of the series. Animal Crossing, like F-Zero, certainly has the cast of characters to make it happen. Not just up to Nintendo if they ever want to give it a stab. I hope they do someday, but I guess we'll see on that one, won't we? Number 3, Punch-Out! Now this one I will fully admit I only thought of due to all the Punch-Out references in the Mario movie, plus my love of Punch-Out Wii. Seriously Nintendo, we need another Punch-Out game. But putting that aside, why do I think this could work? Simple. Little Mac is the ultimate underdog character, and I do think this could work out well if it's made in a similar vein to the Rocky movies. Obviously you couldn't copy-paste what Rocky did, but you make it similar enough while also being different enough. I think it could be a fun, young underdog story that kids and adults can look up to. Plus it'd be great to see all the Punch-Out characters get a chance on the big screen. Just imagine how insane Aaron Ryan would be, for example. Plus, it could have a fun appearance from Mario as the referee if they want to go that route. While I don't expect this to happen, let's be honest, at most maybe Glass Joe or someone will appear in a Nintendo movie at some point, as a quick cameo or something like that. Maybe as a quick joke too, who knows? I do think the concept of Punch-Out itself could make for a fun time. Also again, Nintendo, we need a new Punch-Out game. We also need a new F-Zero game, or at least remake F-Zero X and GX for the Switch. I'd buy that up in a heartbeat. Please Nintendo, I want to play them so badly. F-Zero GX looks so good, but I can't get it because it's so expensive on the GameCube now. Sad face. Number 2, Kirby. So this one may be a bit odd considering Kirby did have that TV series and all, but you know what? I think the world of Kirby is more than interesting enough to make a movie out of. Plus, who doesn't love that little pink puffball, right? Kirby is one of the most recognizable Nintendo franchises around, so why not give him his own movie? It just makes sense to me. Also would love to see a film adaptation of Kirby 64. Just have to get that out there. Seriously, Kirby 64 is awesome. Love that game. Or hey, how about Kirby's Epic Yarn? Could you imagine seeing that on the big screen? Man, that would look awesome. Now before I get into number 1, I do want to give a few honorable mentions to ones that didn't quite make the list. Honorable mention number 1, Yoshi. I'd love a Yoshi movie, don't get me wrong. Seeing Yoshi's Island on the big screen would be amazing. Or hey, how about Yoshi's Story? That was good too. But here's the thing, and a spoiler ahead, so if you haven't seen the Mario movie yet, or watched the end credits scenes yet, just be warned. Yoshi is more or less confirmed for the sequel since we see a Yoshi egg down in the sewers at the end of the Mario film. While I could see Yoshi branching out into his own franchise, kind of like how he sometimes does with Yoshi's Island and Yoshi's Story to name a few examples, the simple truth is, he at least needs to make a debut in the Mario movie first. So that's something I do want to see, don't get me wrong, but I don't think the timing is right just yet. Honorable mention number 2, Wario. Similar to my first honorable mention, Wario and Waluigi as well for that matter, should really appear in the Mario movie before they get their own spin-off. That being said, I'd love to see it happen. Since I'm on the topic though, can I just say I would absolutely love it if Wario and Waluigi were the sequel's villains? Considering how good of a villain Wario was in Super Mario Land 2, I see no reason these two couldn't pull it off. Would love to see a Wario and Waluigi spin-off, but like Yoshi, the timing just isn't right yet. Honorable mention number 3, Donkey Kong. Similar to the last two, this one would as well be a spin-off of the Mario movie. However, like Zelda, I don't think it's a case of if, it's more so a case of when. So I decided to keep it off the list for that. That being said, I want to see a Donkey Kong movie, and I want to see more of the DK crew. And King K. Rool. Gotta have King K. Rool as the villain for the first one at least. Honorable mention number 4, Battalion Wars. I love Battalion Wars on GameCube and the sequel on Wii. That being said, do I think it'd work well on film? Maybe. Depends on how well it's written and whether it wants to take itself seriously or not. If it's portrayed as a comedy, I could see it kind of working better than a serious war movie. However, I'm not sure that a war movie would be great for Nintendo's image, whether as a comedy or as a serious film. So this is a simple case of would be cool to see, but I highly doubt it. So I kept it off this list. Honorable mention number 5, Luigi's Mansion. I want to see it happen, don't get me wrong, and I do think it could happen. I mean, the Super Mario Bros. Movie certainly did build up pretty well to the idea during one scene in particular that I'm not going to spoil for anybody who hasn't seen the movie yet. But the simple case is, do I think it's going to happen yet? Probably not. I think like Zelda though, this is a similar case to that. It will happen, it's just a matter of time. So, I figured why put it on the list if it's probably going to happen anyways. Let's just be honest. With all that being said, my number 1 pick for a Nintendo movie I want to see is Star Fox. Star Fox is by far one of my favorite Nintendo franchises. While the games aren't as consistently good as Mario and Zelda, the simple truth is when they are good, they knock it out of the park. Star Fox 64 is a classic. Star Fox Assault is also an amazing game. Hey, Nintendo, can we get Assault 2 soon, please? I know some people didn't like it, but I loved it. The on-foot combat was seriously a great addition, and you can't change my mind on that one. Anyways, back on topic. Given the success of Star Wars, Star Trek, and Guardians of the Galaxy, just to name a few, it goes to show that sci-fi space films are always going to be all the rage, and I'm sure Star Fox would be no exception. I'm a broken record, I know, but the characters are all great, and I'm sure the space battles would look amazing. Or the battles on the ground as well, because, again, the on-foot sections in Assault were good. Don't care what anyone says. But anyways, with that all said, it's for all these reasons I picked Star Fox as the number 1 Nintendo film I want to see made. So, what are your top 5 picks, guys? Let me know in the comments down below. Please try to keep it civil, though. And thank you all for watching.